Hello, hello, hello. Hello and welcome. Hi everyone. I'm live on Facebook and Instagram. So today I want to talk about networking, the power of networking. So a long time ago, or not so long time ago, I saw on what's the Pride, welcome. I saw on Instagram where a professor was teaching his students something about business. And he drew some knots in a circle, some dots in a circle, and said this is like African billionaires or rich people from African descent. They are all rich, but they are like in that circle, individual dots. And then he says, what happens? Good evening, my brother. He says, what happens when you start drawing drawing lines to join all the dots? Yeah. Now, after drawing all those lines, what you notice is that they all become connected. And what happens is that when they become connected, they become powerful together. And that's why Igbos will say gidigidi bugweze. And come on obo fufu. So the more people are connected, the more powerful they are. This is what I had in mind coming on Instagram to say like hours ago. Only to come on Instagram and see that Everest was live. Joined Everest and lo and behold, he was live with Ikemba, and they were doing something powerful. They just made a woman, a poor woman, made her a millionaire. You know, so this is the power of networks. Now, if we learn this singular act, yeah, it can help us in our individual lives and also as a society. It's almost impossible to see a billionaire that doesn't have an influential network. And that's why when you look at somebody like, let's use Herbert Wigwe's for example, or if you can remember what happened during Obi Kubana's mom's burial, that's how you know that almost every big man knows every big man. Because it's either you, as a big man, maybe you built a house or you want to buy furniture, and you buy furniture from somebody that is very popular or well-to-do in that line, who is also a billionaire, or you need help to go and clear your goods and you need the help of e-money, or you need to go and, you need to buy a house and you end up going to Ned Nwoko's real estate, or you need somebody to supply you drinks for your events and you needed the help of Obi Kubana. So that's how powerful networking is. Now, you don't necessarily need to wait for some business to come up before you network with people. Sometimes you build this network intentionally. My professor, hi Tolu. You build this network intentionally to sort of grow your portfolio. Now, Igbo say, onye nwere mmadụ ka onye nwere ego, which means a person that has somebody or that knows people is better than somebody who has money. So you could have money, but if you are kidnapped, that means it's that you are able to go and withdraw that money and give to them, or you need to call somebody that can easily access money to save you. So it's better that you know people. I will just give a little bit of a story. When I was in Nigeria, my car, I had some issue with federal road safety. But because I had a friend, hi Joseph, I react. Because I had a friend that worked with federal road safety, I managed to call him and he helped me to resolve that issue. Do you understand? And I moved on. Greetings, my brother. So it's very important for us to understand that knowing somebody, it's not like using IM to get admission. That's not exactly what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that if you are worth 100 million, that's your worth, your 100 million worth. Now, your family look up to you, your circle look up to you. But what happens when you meet other 10 people that are worth 100 million? What happens is that you guys become a network of 1 billion. Now, if a case of 10 million comes up, instead of you solving that case of 10 million from your 100 million, everybody chips in from that 10 people, and then you find out that all you are going to spend is, instead of 10 million, you're spending 1 million. Just giving you like a little mathematical example. Now, when you look at, for example, let's use the billionaires that we know. Let's go with, I will give example with people that are not Igbos, and I will give example with Igbos. Let's go with Dangote. Usually when you see Dangote, you see Otedola. Do you understand? If you see Dangote, you see Otedola. He might not necessarily be going out to somebody like Bua or Lafarge because they are competitors, but people that align with them, they always move around with those people. You see them with those people. Do you understand? And you won't be too surprised if you see Tony Elumelu in that loop. Do you understand? Purely because these guys have one thing, and that's why even their children know each other. Do you understand? DJ Copy can easily identify with Davido off social media, off the whole music thing, because they are children of what? Billionaires. The same way Davido was, you know, mourning Chigwe, the son of, sorry, I don't know if I got his name right, the son of Wigwe that died in the craft, right? The same way he's mourning him is the same way Kidwaya was mourning them, because they all know each other. And these are like billionaire kids. They probably roll in the same place, go to the same place. And that's why you see somebody like DJ Copy telling his her ex that if you cross paths where I go. Funny thing is, the guy has his own money, probably roll with, you know, different sort of people. But that might be you know, first generational wealth. Now, it is not just about money. It's not just about making money. Sometimes in that circle, everybody spends their money. Now, the other example I want to give is Obi Kubana. If you see an event where Obi Kubana goes, there's likely going to be at least one or two other billionaires there. You see that Henry Ike is there, or the likes of E-Money is there, or the likes of Nedo Konkwa is there, or the likes of, you know, Joey Zaza. Now, there is a reason why billionaires like to go where billionaires are. Apart from the class thing, it's also the thing with, they feel more secured to be in that circle. But also, they have to create time to go to those kind of events. Because it might warrant that you have an engagement abroad, but because you know this billionaire is going to be here. Now, apart from that, that billionaire is going to be here, you have to create time so that when you beckon on other billionaires, out of their tight schedule, they will have to come. And that's why you see P2B is almost everywhere. It's even more necessary if you want to go into politics. If you want to be a president, no, you have to know somebody. One of the most powerful tools that Tinubu has is networking. Tinubu have a very vast and well-stretched network. Do you understand? Some of those network money will help. Some of those network royalty will help. Some of those network, the assistance or help you've given in the past will help. So no matter how bad somebody is painting you, because you've helped them in their story, you've been a part of their story, they will always remember that network or remember that help, and then they are part of your network. So as a person, somebody said, I can't remember who said it, but somebody said that the highest or the best or the biggest investment is what they call human investment. Invest in people. Do you understand? And this is one of the secrets that make Igbos so successful. They invest no matter how low, no matter how poor, no matter how rich an Igbo man is, he's investing in somebody. He's going to the village, he's picking his younger brother. He's going to the village, he's picking the next person that is poor. He's bringing that person to the city. Even a vulcanizer will train another vulcanizer. Do you understand? A businessman that is probably doing turnover of 50,000 will go and get another boy because he is now an oga. He needs a boy, not because he has a lot of money, but to teach you how to. Do you understand? Because what happens is that the other day I saw somebody that said she's a graduate from her dad who was he a shoemaker or mechanic, a menial job like that, trained a graduate. So you might be doing turnover of 50K, like somebody who is selling akara, but somebody who is selling akara can take 3-4 children through university. Do you understand? Now what they will do is that as they are teaching, as they are like sponsoring their students in school, they are also teaching somebody else how to fry the akara. If somebody is a shoemaker and has kids, what they can do is teach those children how to make shoe. At the same time, train them in school. Now, the worth of that whole shoemaker business might be 100K. But they are using it to survive and they are using it to grow. Now, what happens is that you are now leaving a legacy. Now, if you are a 9 to 5 person, you're somebody that work in the office or you work for somebody, there's nothing as a legacy you're leaving for your kids. So if you want to leave anything as legacy for your kids, yeah, I mean, the only thing is if probably are paying for life insurance or whatever, you know, and then if you die and then insurance, for example, now, Wigwe's family, although money is not their problem, they would have preferred Wigwe being alive than any amount of money. But because that happened in America, do you know how much they are going to pay that aircraft company? Do you know how much they are going to pay as insurance to that family? But money is not the issue because the man is minted. But the point I'm still, trying to say is that when somebody dies, they see a little bit of their network from the way that what do you call it? That funeral was covered, the way that funeral, Abro. The way that funeral, you will notice that these guys, I've never heard of the name Wigwe, I've never heard of Habat Wigwe before. One thing I did notice though, was that as somebody that always do transfer to people in Nigeria, I noticed that there was a time, it seemed like everybody have an Access Bank account. Instead somebody send me an account, it's an Access Bank. I'm like, why is this Access Bank? So when I left Nigeria, we were using Diamond. My family bank business bank was Diamond. I used to go to Diamond to deposit money. So Access bought Diamond and then wanting to also buy Standard BTC, which the owner said on channels or Arise. So you need to understand that the Herbert Wigwe's death now showed us the kind of network he was working with. He was working with Dangote. Dangote was crying. He was working with almost everybody had something good to say about him because the young man, although in his 50s, have built. Imagine where was it? Sanusi was saying how he put them. Abro, should I use you as my topic? Abro is my network. He's my very good friend. So that's what we're talking about. You need to sort of build, and sometimes, like my own personal belief is, if you start going to people that have money, yeah, to form friendship and form network, it's difficult. Sometimes it's good to sort of create your sort of network, and then, how do I say, let me use Abro now, so it will make sense. Thank God Abro is on this live. So Abro is my friend, right? We find ourselves in this country. We are all from Onitsha, all from Igbo land, and we knew what we wanted. Our what do you call it? We met from church, but our purpose aligned. What we want in life aligned. And what did we do? We started sharing ideas. If you know this one is going, you tell your friend. If you know, so we are more than it's not just me and him. We had other friends. Now all of us. Somebody's calling me. Hold on. Yeah, so all of us started like, pushing forward. Now all of us have settled, we live with our families. We're now going on holiday. We can travel. Like this January, we flew on the same airline with one other friend. We go places together. And that's what friendship is all about. Do you understand? That's what network is all about. Now, I didn't go to meet Abro now that he's well-to-do. Do you understand? I grew with him. So look in your circle. Make sure you are growing, even if it's friends of 10 years. Make sure everybody you are live. That's why Davido said it. Okay, look at what happened with Davido and sorry, I'm just juggling issues as they come to my head. I'm not reading a script. I'm just talking off my head. Now, Davido had issues with Buju. Buju is new in the industry. Guess who fought for Davido? Dremo. Because in Davido's circle of influence, at least Dremo has benefited. So Dremo gas fight that battle. It wasn't even Mayokun can fight that battle for him. He doesn't even have to be Davido. Davido have to respond to people like probably Burna Boy or probably Wizkid. So that's why you need a good network, not necessarily to fight for you. There are other examples I could give outside, but I don't want to sort of mention a lot of names. But I think I'm driving home my point, yeah? What Honorable Ikemba did this evening with people like Handsome Guy, Everest, Forward, is what we want to be seen on Instagram. Let's come and form a network. Look at Lozeus. Lozeus can be driving. And the next thing, he will stop Anybody that comes around him, he will just give that person 100,000. And the next that woman grow. No, where is Lord Zeus getting all this money from? Lord Zeus is getting this money from people on his network. He doesn't take the money from his pocket. Lord Zeus is one of the richest online content creators, but you will never see him call out anybody and be fighting. Now, what Lord Zeus is doing is what Okurola is doing. Imagine Okurola gathering up to 46 million for one person. The person has died, but then what he said was that out of this 46 million, I will use 20-something million to establish the family of this person that have died. The other 23 million, I will share it to 5 states of Igbo land. About how many youths from each state? 500,000. No government have done it. All this audio youth empowerment we are hearing on radio are all audio. You find out that individuals are helping more people than government, and that is what we need. So true. Instead of always fighting and shaking, nyash, get together, ego build. Yes. Do you understand? Instead of all these basbos, we know all of you are rich. We know that anybody abroad is okay. Whether you are in America, you are anywhere you are doing well. You this other, and you they always abuse me. Did I go cash it? Steph Monique, you are a problem. I beg no cash me, my power no reach. But Steph Monique, okay, let me know. Today is Sunday. Don't allow me to sing today. I'm being holy today. Steph Monique, you're my brother. You are in my network, Steph Monique. Why are you doing this? You are always causing problems, Steph Monique. You are always causing problems. You need to give your life to Christ. Otherwise, I will send you away from heaven. My professor, good evening, sir.
Well done, sir.
It's always a delight. How was your day?
It was good.
Happy Mother's Sunday to our mothers. You know?
Ivy.
I wanted to get jealous of that. Why is it always women all the time? They will celebrate Anglican, they will celebrate Catholic, they will celebrate America own, they will celebrate Women's International Women's Day. Do you understand? But I said to myself, man, these women do a lot. You know, even our wives do a lot for us. You know, when kids are crying, when they are unbearable, you just carry the kid, go to your mama. Do you understand? My wife will come back home. I am coming back home with her. Madam, I beg, give me food, I'm hungry. When she finished feeding me, she will then go and feed the 2 hungry lions that we call boys. Do you understand? Before she will go and eat herself. And funny thing is, most of the time they are washing their weight, so they will be starving themselves. You know, do you know in my church, every Mother's Sunday, they will share us food. Today we ate jollof rice with chicken and drink. And even small chops, men they no get shishi. So if women like, let them even carry 20 more days in a year, we'll be celebrating them, because without women, nah, this life would have been more difficult. So Tolu, to the topic, my brother, what do you think about the power of networks? And let me tell you a little story about you, because some people might not know. Me and Tolu go way back, way back. In fact, I was talking about Chukwudi before. I met Chukwudi from the same place I met Tolu, which is Deeper Life Church in Plaster then. And we formed a little group, isn't it, Tolu? We used to go to leisure center together. All my friends were from church, the likes of Ken, Tunde, most of them, some Ayob, those that have gone to Nigeria, David, Isaac. I still have those people around me till today. My wife is superhuman, honestly. Just an hour, I stay with my twin, look like 5 days. Trust me, man. These kids will jump on you, stress you and everything. So without women, we can't survive. So me and Tolu, we've been there. I know when I was studying, he was studying. And look at him today. He's a professor. I'm a master's degree holder. Bio came on my life the other time when we had an interview. Bio works for a very reputable international organization. And now boys are men. Do you understand? You know, so we don't have our families. You know, you have your family, I have my family, and that's what we call network. God forbid now, should there be any issue that demands a lawyer or anything. I will call Tolu now. Tolu will come there speaking. In fact, I have had issues that I've called Tolu and said, Tolu, what should I do? Isn't it? I've
Oh
talked to
yeah,
your legal
that's
opinion.
true. That's true.
Exactly.
Yes.
So yeah, Tolu, go on.
Well, to be honest, the power of networking is very massive. Um, it's not about the schools you go to. It's not about the education you have. It's about the people you know around your circle. When I was in Nigeria, I remember having a conversation with my friends. I'll be like, we don't know anybody, and we are looking for a job. We went to school, we finished, no job. NYSC, no job. Don't worry. The rich people, they know how to set themselves up, right? But when I got to the UK, I realized it's the same thing. It's the same process. There's no difference. In
It's even
fact,
worse in the UK.
it's even worse
Reference
in the UK because if you know people very well, not only will you get a job,
is
you will get promoted quicker.
easy, yeah.
Now, I have a friend in the UK who told me that he learned to smoke because he wants to be among his friends.
Imagine.
Yeah, because at workplace, this smoking
Yeah,
time, they go
yeah,
to
they always go for
go
smoking
and
break.
smoke
Yeah.
somewhere. Yeah, from there he started smoking, and I guess what? Now he can smoke. He can take a whole packet of cigarettes and finish it. But the truth is, without looking at the vices, the networking part is very, very massive.
Very
It was
important.
very massive. He was able to relate with people. He was able to write faster. He started as a associate. Now he's I think he's a lead. He's a team lead. He leads a kind of like a cluster of colleagues. Just within 2 years. Just within 2 years. Whereas if it wasn't networking, 5 years he would still be an associate.
But Tolu, I want us to differentiate something because there's something, in as much as I love networking, there's something I don't like doing, which is work politics, right? You understand where I'm coming from? Now, I want to sort of make a distinction between the two because you see all those work politics, no, don't catch me there. All those drinks after work, I go avoid them because I don't want all those. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? All those, do you understand? I'm this kind of guy. If you send me on a job, I'm not calling you back as an agency to tell you what went down at work. Let others go and gossip me, it's not my problem. Whatever happens at work stays at work. As far as the client is happy, pay us, everybody's good. Do you understand? Now, sometimes people want to get an advantage, undue advantage over other colleagues. So they go and make friends with a manager, for example, buy her gifts, do things, and then badmouth others. I honestly am against that. But all I'm for is, even if it's not necessarily in your field, build networks of people who do other different things. Maybe from church, for example. You know people that, do you understand, are there and there and there. And maybe be somebody that your integrity makes it easy for people to befriend you.
Yeah.
So that people will always beckon on you if you call them. Do you understand? And it's such a, you see, when I listen to everybody talk about Two-Face, I want to use somebody that everybody can relate to. Everybody always have something nice to say about Two-Face. He's humble, he's humble, he's humble. Humility does something to you. It makes it easy for people to sort of associate with you. And it makes it easy for people to sort of talk about you. And then what people say behind you or where you are not is even better than what people say in your face. Olu, I hail you. What done, Olu? We are talking about networking. Now, in my network, I can count Olu as my network. I can count Abro as my network. And I'm happy to take on more people. It's not necessarily for me to take it an advantage to hurt other people, but for me to grow in my, I don't know how to say it, like in your influence or in your options. Do you understand? Say, for example, all these things you see people be going from one function to the other, going everywhere. You think he's spending his money, he's giving out envelopes, all those things is in exchange for maybe a phone call when it's needed, and you can or just say something good about me when I'm not there. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? He's doing
Yes.
what they call human investment. So you could do that in your line of work. You could put people through by just advising people. And just by advising those people will see you as, thank you for that advice. You really helped. I just finished church today. I was going to my car, somebody rushed me. Oh, how can I do this driving testing? Within the week, somebody have already asked me, oh, how do I go about driving test? Just few, it might be a big help. To them, how was it when you don't have a license? Remember how big it was. I failed 9 times before I got my own. So it was a massive problem. So you now telling them, okay, start from here. Don't worry about this. Just when you get there, you can take up. Those things are massive help. Now, you just say those things and go away, but to them, you've solved a massive problem. Do you understand? So that is how power of network comes on. So I just wanted to make that distinction with people trying to step on others at work to climb, and people building I don't know if I'm making sense to you.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you can go on.
To be honest, first of all, with regards to the issue of networking at workplace, you see, workplace networking is unavoidable, right? So you need to actually network at the workplace. If you really want to grow, if you really want to be able to achieve some level of opportunity or get that level of opportunity, you need to network at workplace. Okay, so I'm not in favor of those that leak asses, like trying to, get favoritism or get favors of your boss by uh, disparaging your colleagues. Okay, but when it comes to drinking out, when it comes to going for concerts, movies, and the rest of that, I think it's very good that people try and network and try and know your boss, know what he likes, what he dislikes, and that can give you a leverage when it comes to promotion. I'm talking from experience. I don't like to talk to people at work. I don't smoke. I hardly drink. I've never smoked in my life. I've never even had a puff in my life. Drinking maybe sometimes, and the reason why I drink was because I realized that sometimes I needed to relate to my bosses, and they drink. White people, they hardly smoke. The real ones, not the fake ones, but the real ones hardly smoke, but they drink. They drink a lot, and they are social drinkers. So if you want to relate with your boss, with your manager, you might have to relate in that level. And most of the secrets of employment and development and growth and scholarship comes in the pub. It doesn't come from the office. So if you get to the office in the morning, they won't tell you the secret. So when you get to the pub in the evening, they will start telling you things you're supposed to do to get promoted or to get an opportunity. I'll give you an example. When I was about to finish my PhD, right? I think I was writing my final chapter, and it was so difficult, and it was very, very difficult. So my professor called me and said she has an event in Chatham House that we should go together, right? So I didn't want to go because what will I say? I mean, what will I tell people at home and everything? So I was afraid. I didn't want to go. But I realized that if I don't go, I'll put myself in a very difficult situation. So guess what? I attended. And when I attended, she was telling me things I'm supposed to do on my last chapter that she didn't tell me at work. She didn't tell me in the office. She was just very, very grumpy. But when we got to the event, she was just laughing and telling me stuff. And she had a couple of drinks and she was telling me stuff. So it was what she told me that I used, okay, in my final chapter. And it was very helpful in my defense. So my point is, when you are at work, okay, I don't believe in ass licking, like I said, but make sure you are friends with everybody, you relate with them equally, and your bosses, try to be friends with them. Okay, try. If you don't do that, you will struggle to succeed. You will struggle to get progress. 100%.
Before we let Olu come in, I'm trying to make peace with the fact that you said you drink because you want them to feel. Because then I'm trying to put that to peer pressure. But we'll let Olu talk before we come back to you. Because first of all, I don't have a problem with losing a particular job. It allows me to get to the next. And funny thing is, as I'm leaving one job, I'm getting the other. As I'm leaving one job, I'm getting the other. Now, if you try and have, and don't get me wrong, go, don't get me wrong, go.
Okay.
Personally, I might not go because I don't drink. But in my circle, if you come to my house, you will drink. If
There we
if you
go.
drink alcohol, anything you want in my house, my friends know me.
There we
But
go.
Abron here can tell you I don't drink alcohol. Do you understand? All my friends drink. It's not a problem. If you want to drink, you drink. I don't have a problem. But I need to be able to let you know that this is
I
me.
don't have.
I don't drink. I don't smoke.
Sorry for interrupting. I
Yeah.
don't have a problem from day one. I don't have a problem with drinking. Okay, from day one.
So it
It's
wasn't because of them.
I don't have a
Okay.
religious conviction. I don't listen. People that know me, you know my background, of course. So
I know your background, yes.
you might be saying why do I drink? But I am a social drinker, which means that
I know, I
sometimes
understand what social drinker means.
I drink, sometimes I don't. Okay,
Yeah.
and the reason why I particularly choose the time I want to drink was because I know those within my circle drink,
No,
and those people.
I think what I'm trying, because people are going to watch this, and all I'm trying to say is that, for example, let me use E-Money now. E-Money bets. He does bets. Well, somebody said something to me. He said, oh, E-Money is betting not because he wants to bet, or he could not bet without telling the world he's betting, but
Exactly.
because he is an ambassador to that bet company.
Here we go. Here we
So
go. That's it.
now, if I say,
Exactly.
oh, I want to be friends with E-Money, okay, let me go and be betting, then you are doing something wrong because you don't have any genuine conviction to bet. Then there was one day I was listening to Daddy Freeze, and one girl came and cried and said she wants to commit suicide because she lost 700K. And I mean, thank God that day Daddy Freeze was able to bring up an account and they raised over 1 million for her and told her never to. And then Daddy Freeze said something. He said, I've never betted in my life. And he hit me. So, for example, I came back, and these two of my neighbors got 100K, 200K from what do you call the postcode lottery. And I don't like gambling. Oh, but I have to go and register for postcode.
See. No, bro. Sorry. So see, if I need e-money's contact, for example,
Mm-hmm.
if I want to get to e-money, let me give you. There's a woman called the former petroleum minister. What's her name?
Diziani, is it Diziani?
Desiane. When Buhari became president, Buhari was going for a meeting in London. Desiane wanted to meet Buhari, but she couldn't meet Buhari at Aso Rock. Guess what she did? She made sure she was on that flight going to London. It's on the news. She made sure she was on that first class
On a
in that
presidential
cargo.
flight
No. British Airways. British Airways going to London.
when
Buhari,
he's president.
no, Buhari was not yet sworn
Okay,
in.
okay.
Okay,
Was not
Buhari
yet president.
was just going for a meeting, but it was on a BA flight, and Zeni made sure she got a place on that flight just to be able to see Buhari. Now, the beauty of networking is that there are things you have to do because of what you want to get. If
But
if you're
yeah,
supposed to,
mm.
I mean, if you're supposed to, if your favorite, if your target man, let me use the word target, if your target is an habitual gambler, the only place you can find him is in the casino. Tell me, what would you do?
My
What would
faith
you
is
do?
against going into a casino. But Olu, come in.
Okay, good evening, my brother. How are you doing? I mean,
I'm
Good
good.
evening,
I'm good.
bro. Good
I
evening.
really like today's topic. Honestly, it's very refreshing and all that. Yeah. So basically, yeah, for me, I transit from working 9 to 5 to being an entrepreneur, right?
Mm.
So, but it's still the same concept in everything you're doing in terms of networking. What I've found out, which has worked for me, in fact, what turns me to an entrepreneur was even from networking as a 9 to 5 p.m. person. You understand? I didn't just, it's because of my, my goodwill, and people, they wanted to help and all that. And before I know it, I saw opportunity in that, and I take advantage of it. So what did I do? Simple. Number one, you must understand the art of diplomacy. Do you get diplomacy? Don't be too blunt in every conversation and all that.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong in being blunt, actually, but you should be diplomatic when you are speaking to people. That's one. Two, you must understand your audience. You must understand your audience or your targets,
Mm-hmm.
because human being has different personality. Do you understand? And we reason differently. Everybody is not going to agree with you, but you need them. So you must understand. It's not, in most cases, it's not basically because you agree with that lifestyle. Okay. There is two friends of mine that has done something for me recently that I was wondering what's going on. Sure you get. One was, I won't mention the other one, but the first one was like, I was trying to call her, call him, sorry, to set up a meeting. Do you get? And we're friends, actually. No, this thing is very funny. Oh. I was trying to call him we've agreed on the date for the meeting, right? It's Thursday, no, I think it's supposed to be on Tuesday. We've agreed. So I wanted to call to remind him that, "Oh, we're going to have a meeting, And he's not picking my call, and we're supposed to be friends. So I was worried. Do you understand? Eventually, he picked. And I was not asking, I've been trying to reach you, what happened and all that. You know? But the reason he gave me, it was so very funny. I was like, because he was telling me that he was doing something that's the reason why, is that it's not like he's not picking my call. He doesn't want to pick my call. But I didn't agree with his reason. Do you understand? So,
Yeah.
but I still allow it to slide. Like, okay, no problem. So, what I'm saying is, the the overall summary of that is that you must understand people. Everybody is not going to agree with you. Do you get? So that you can relate with them at that level to achieve what you want.
Right.
Thirdly, you must always improve your skills. If you have the skills, they will look for you anywhere in the world. I'm not afraid to get job. I'm not afraid of anything, because I always go for the things that the world needs, something that I know that I will have relevance in solving that problems. So that's my target. So, and if you have that at the back of your mind, people will sort after you naturally. Do you understand? So you need to improve your skills. It doesn't matter if you are, maybe you are in a particular profession. It doesn't mean you cannot switch. I'm a chartered accountant by training, but I'm into IT right now. You get? You can switch. It all depends. I love both. I love being an accountant and I love being into IT also. So you can switch actually. It's not a crime. So, but you must always improve your skills. It is very, very important. You improve your skills, and all those things. Do you get? And at the
Yeah.
back of your mind, maybe finally, at the back of your mind, you should always see opportunity in
Yeah.
every situation you find yourself. You understand? Don't look at situation that is hopeless. In that hopeless situation, there's an opportunity in it. I was raising one issue with you one day. You say, I don't expose myself when I say I change my money to dollar and all those things. Because
Yeah.
my thinking, that's why I'm very positive. My thinking is I don't see problem. I don't see problem. That's the way I am. What I see is solution. If you come to me now, you are lamenting, you are crying. I'm not seeing your cry. I'm listening to you that you are crying. What is in my head is how to solve your problems. So, in most cases, when you are a problem solver or when you have conditioned your thinking to solving problem, you won't have issues. Basically, you don't even need to have a skill to solve that problem. But because you have because you are thinking towards solution, people help people do things now. I remember Davido saying that he was building house, building a can. Davido naturally is not a tech person.
No.
Exactly. But you see, maybe you see an opportunity, you see a problem, and he's trying to solve it. Then he gets somebody to build the app for him. So, but you must be positive in life. Don't see, you know. So anyway, that's personal to me. That's the way I live my life, and it's working actually. It's working.
Yeah,
I don't.
I believe. Yeah, sorry to cut you short. I believe people have different reasons to network. But for example, if your idea of networking is to make sure you remain recruitable or employable, I know somebody that says, even though I get jobs from agency, I know all the construction managers in these things and I have their number. In fact, sometimes they have a different they agree a different amount with me, and then before they call the agency to just formalize putting me through to the job, I get my job myself. Now, to him, he's networking. To somebody else like me, probably I don't care. Just get me any job and I will do it. Now, what that allows me is a little bit of openness to different types of offers coming to me, rather than me going to find somebody and then having to probably go and do drinks that maybe I don't want to do because I want to keep that relationship so I can keep the job. So if somebody is probably going close to the manager and trying, her best to sort of be close and do all those politics, you find out that you remain in that one job. Now, me that you've managed to work out, and the thing with changing jobs is that the more you're changing job, the more you are growing. It allows you to grow. And this was taught to me by somebody, by a senior colleague that said to me, if you want to go promise, you need to be changing jobs. And I started changing jobs immediately. And when I was changing job, before you know it, I became a senior analyst. Do you understand? On a very massive organization. Now, even though I'm a senior analyst, I don't really want to be stuck here. So I'm not going to start saying, oh, let me now spend my tentacles and make all the friends here. And no, while you are there, make sure you are doing the good job. Make sure you treat everybody respectfully. But then the most important thing is that at every level you are, make sure that nobody has a lot of bad things to say, or let's say they have good things to say about you, so that even if you don't necessarily keep their private number, should in case you need their reference in the future, you can easily have an open door and open access back. Does that make sense, Tony
Uh,
and
Yeah,
Olu?
yeah.
well, it
That
does
reference is
for
the key.
reference. Yeah, thank
For
you.
me now,
Yeah, Olu.
I'm worried about review. I'm worried
Yeah, I
about
wanted to say something.
review. At my level now, review is my headache.
Yeah.
So I keep in touch to ensure that I always get good rating and all that wherever I
Oh
work.
yeah, yeah, because of
So
your business. Yeah,
review is a very big problem for me as an
yeah.
entrepreneur because people must say good things about my work.
Yes.
Correct,
You
correct.
understand?
But
So
but but for
so
but for people like us, for people like us that we work for organizations and institutions, reference is important. For
Very,
review,
very important.
review is as
Customer
important.
base.
It's important to you as life itself.
exactly.
You know, but
But
for
Olu, sorry to cut you short. People actually have other ways to do these things. So say for example, you leave a job harshly, you get a friend to give you reference. Same goes for people that have businesses. They go and pay some people to actually go and do all this search engine optimization, and even pay some good guys to go and be doing a lot of good reviews. But it's good
yeah,
when it is organic.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It's
I
good
was
when it's
just about to
organic.
say something about references. Promise before I forget. Now, first of all, when it comes to networking, networking is subjective. It depends on what you want to get out of it.
Thank you.
You
Exactly. That
you
is
as
it.
promised now, your own job is because you want to grow faster or whatever. That is fine. That is your job. That is what you want to get out of it. For me, I want to be able to grow where I am at the moment. And if I want to become a professor, I mean, in my field, you have to network. You have
Mm.
you have to even, if possible, be praying to the person every day, going to meet them,
My Lord, my Lord, my Lord.
Just to carry their bag, go and buy coffee, go and buy food. You need, this is the kind of job I do. I'm in a legal profession. It's like a cult. You cannot, you are like a servant.
It's like a cult. Yeah.
It's a servant master relationship, if you know what I mean. So for IT people, you can decide to just walk away anytime. But for me, if I want to grow, I can't.
You can even do it remotely. They don't need to see your face.
Exactly, but they
No,
have to
but
see my
even
face.
if you do it remotely, there are people that still have. I guess all these things. Say for example, like like in my former job.
Sorry, promise. Let me just round it up quickly on referencing. When it comes to referencing, right, the law does not permit your employer to give you bad reference.
I know about the law, but these guys are subtle. They are subtle. There's the way they do it.
If you lose the job,
Olu, trust me. Let me give you one example.
Okay, go.
You see, last 2 or last 3 jobs, yeah, I wanted to go. I wanted a pay rise. They didn't want to give me a pay rise, right? They said if they give me a pay rise, they're gonna cut my hours because they are struggling during COVID. That's okay, fair enough. Look at what's gonna happen. Oh, I got another job. They will ignore the email. You see that email? They will ignore the email. You say, please, they said they've sent you email. Can you just do it? Yes, legally, they cannot give you a back, but they will ignore that email. You keep going to employer, keep asking them to, and without that reference, they can't progress your application. So by ignoring that email, which legally they can say they are swamped with emails or they're on holiday or they have more priorities. So at the end of the day, that reference is key. And I recently got banned from Uber because even though I have about 400 5 stars and very nice number of 4 stars, one bad 0 star is enough for Uber to block you immediately.
Let me give you one trick. And for everybody listening to me, maybe this trick will be useful. Okay, listen carefully. If I'm working somewhere and I realize that they wouldn't give me a very good reference, yeah, I will tell my employer to send, a paper-based reference. That's a paper-based reference. So they will send it. You will print it. You will take it to your manager. He will look at it and sign. So what you have to do is you tell your new employer. You say, for whatever reason, you give them your own side of the story that they're not giving you reference. I don't know why, but you will ask them to give you a letter-headed reference request. They will send it by PDF.
You are not allowed to see a reference.
Do you know?
It's employer to employer.
No. Let me explain.
No.
Let me explain.
Olu, hold on. Tolu, hold on. In my field, you are not allowed. You are the subject. You are the one being referenced on. Now, this is employer to employer talking about the risk of hiring you. Do you get? Okay. Now, what I do is, no matter how much you annoy me at work, Baba, I dey royal. I will keep taking it. Once I get a job, even when I'm telling you I'm getting a job, I go to do like, say, I don't want to leave. Oh, hey, please. Hey. Until you immediately they give you that reference, you can do anything. You can say anything. But you see that reference is very, very, very important. Now, you are not allowed because you are the one being discussed. They cannot say anything negative, but there are subtle questions they ask that you are not supposed to see. And there are times I've seen my reference or my referee done, but what they will do, because I had a good relationship with the manager at the time, is she sent it to me and then sent another, or they can put you in the blind copy.
Good.
So you get and see that they gave you a good review. I mean, they do review for people scatter. Where. I will do.
Good. Now you get my point. Because the principle of data protection does not prevent you from accessing your reference. That's what you don't understand.
No, it's for the employer not to know that you've seen it.
I will still see. No. I can still see it. I'm the subject. the law does not preclude me from seeing my reference.
No,
That's the truth.
no, hold on. What I'm trying to say here is that your reference, the new employer are asking the old employer about you. You are the subject, yes, but you're not supposed to be involved in that interaction.
Yeah.
Now, after making a decision and continue, they will first of all give you a conditional offer. After they've arrived at the decision to say, okay, we're going on to hire you, you can of course have your reference at the time. But what I'm saying is usually it's an employer to an employer conversation about how good is this person, how many sick leave does he take, how many holidays has he taken, is he always coming on time early? Now, of course, it's prejudice, of course, if you are now aware. That means you could easily go and say nice things about yourself to the new employer.
Let me ask
So
you a question.
even though the law does not allow the old employer those liberty to say bad things about you, they are still expecting that your employer will be as factual and as honest as possible to the new employer to tell them of the risk of hiring you. Do you understand?
Let me ask you a question. What do you think will be the case if an employer refuses to send my reference? Let's assume that I'm working for you.
That's what I'm no, that's what I'm saying, right? So if for example, no, so I don't know what will happen, Tony, but I think usually you get two references. You get your last employer reference, and you get a character reference. Yeah. So you can get a character reference from a friend or your pastor or whatever.
I'm asking you now.
No. Now, if the manager does not give reference, this is personally what I do, and I'm throwing it out there for somebody else.
Okay.
In your interview, you can say, oh, I'm having so and so issues, which is why I'm about leaving. Or you can even write an email to the employer. Immediately they tell you, oh, congratulations, you're successful, blah, blah, blah. You can now say, oh, I'm having so and so issue with that time. New employer understand. There are people that leave job harshly. There are people that have issue with the employer. Or you can say, oh, because of so and so issue, because of financial issue, or whatever, my employer, they will understand and welcome on board that they might not get this. And you can put it as a caveat. If my manager does not give you this reference, I can provide you with an alternative source of reference. In that case, if you are getting along with somebody in that place, you can now bring that person and say, this, my friend, also acts in the capacity of a manager, maybe in a different department, not directly managing me, but they can also say something about me as a colleague. Are you getting my point now?
Good. That's it. So, but the bigger picture is this. If because of that useless omission or action of your former employer, you lose this current job, you have a good case. And
legally.
And it's not in Nigeria where case drag for 500 years. Here, it won't take 3 weeks. Forget it won't tribunal. It won't take 3 weeks. It's just one paper you write and that's it. And then you send it to tribunal and then you attach your employment offer. And then you prove it.
It's about how to prove that. It's about how to prove that. I mean, your new employer have to now come out and say, this actually is the reason why we really do that.
See, we've handled. I don't directly practice, but I've helped people in this kind of situations before. Look, I tell people, copy the HR. The HR has just one function: the function of employee and employer relationship. That is the job of the HR. So if your manager is being funny and misbehaving, at least your HR can give you a blanket reference. This person has worked with us from this date to this date. This person has done this, has done that. Simple. That's all your new employer needs. Okay? So you can copy your HR and let your HR give you a reference. If they don't, the HR will now be coming to the tribunals, come and explain why they are not giving reference. When their job is to look at their email to give reference to former employees. Do you understand? So my point is that no, well, in Nigeria it's possible, but in the UK or in developed countries, you can't defend it. You can't say, well, we didn't see the email, or we are too busy. You can't say that because you have an HR. You have an HR.
Well, it depends on how busy your guy is, though. There are some guys that don't see some emails.
No,
there are people that really can't read their emails.
If that's the case,
our law here is
something called negligence. Okay, something called negligence, okay, or omission. Negligence means that what you're supposed to do, you did not do it. And let me tell you something. It's not an excuse to say we are busy. We have things we are doing. That's why we couldn't do this, we couldn't do that. That is not acceptable in court because I'm losing employment. I'm losing almost 50K employment. You're telling me you are busy. You couldn't check your emails. You have backlogs. For more than 4 weeks, they've been asking you for reference for this particular employee. Are you telling me you didn't see the email? Can you prove it?
I mean, most times you sort of
Wait,
know that you left, when there is a problem. You didn't leave amicably,
Exactly.
and you didn't even get a
Exactly.
cell phone.
Yeah.
But all share your thoughts.
Okay,
no,
Oli, yeah.
this my brother. I just wanted to ask him how something can happen in at your side in UK there. Now I'm talking of review because you guys have been talking of reference. Reference no bother me again. It's not my headache. You know, like this example of Eddie School and the chairman lady. You know, when you review a product and you said the product is killing people, do you understand? And NAFDAC is saying the product is okay. So to that case, because that can make that product or the company to go into extinction,
Mm-hmm.
because of that bad review.
Yeah.
In such a case, how do you handle it? How do you think it can be handled in UK? Is it that you just let go, or you, as a company, you see how you can turn it around and maybe to your own, you understand, to your own positive? I mean, you are saying somebody's product kills. Do you get? Because you've damaged him, and you that is saying the product kill, you are alive and all that. You don't have any evidence. You are not a scientist. You just make a casual statement. And you see, this thing is common in this part of the world where we are. People will just make statements and
Somebody
they
that
will,
hates you can just come and
and
want
they
to
will
bring
get
you
away
down.
with it. Like,
Yeah.
so, but
Casual.
then, it's a reviewer.
Yeah.
It's just like where I stay when I was in UK, that your side. Normally, if I want to give the person a bad review, I will have just, but I no send. It's okay, I just left. Sure you get.
Mm.
But in that
Yeah.
kind of situation, what is the best approach? Because a lot of people are complaining that the Erisco chairman is not handling the case very well. You understand that the media the media broha is against him and all that. So, but for
Yeah.
such person that carry out such review and say the product is killed, what do you think the man will have done? Because I don't know whether we don't have good understanding here for people to be blaming the man. Because I see it I see it differently though.
Okay.
You-
When it comes to that, when it comes to review in Nigeria, for example, there is an organization called the Consumer Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, the CCPC. Okay, they are in Abuja and then every other part of Nigeria. So every consumer in Nigeria has the power to report a business to the CCPC, Competition and Consumer Protection Commission. Okay, once you do that, then they will open up an investigation. If you don't do that and you make unguarded statements in Nigeria, yeah, you can be liable for defamation. Okay, that is Nigeria. In the UK, we have the Competition Market Authority, the CMA. The CMA has the power to get, and we also have the Financial Ombudsman Service in the UK. And the third one is also we have the financial FCA, Financial uh, something
Yeah,
Act,
I
the
forgot
FCA,
what. Yeah.
the FCA. So
Mm-hmm.
those guys, they monitor performance of businesses and the hazard or the risk that those businesses pose to consumers. Okay, so in the UK, it's very very regulated. It's highly regulated. So you can't just do things anyhow or say things anyhow.
but can you make unguided statements
You
in
cannot.
UK for a
You cannot.
product
If you,
because you are reviewing?
I'll,
Say the product is killing, and all those kind of things that you
I'll,
cannot
I'll,
prove.
I'll,
Okay?
I'll give an example. I used to work with Just Eat.
My life is going to end, but I will just come straight back. Yeah.
Okay,
In 20 seconds, it's going to end. When it ends, I will come straight back.
okay.
Oh, let me just end it so it's faster. Go live again. So yeah, we're talking about networking, and we just dived into when you're employed and you are leaving one job to the other, how good it is to sort of have good relationship with your employer, your previous employer, as you're going into the new employment, or if you own business, you're an entrepreneur, how important reviews are. And we're looking at if somebody have left a bad review, how do you deal with that? So yeah, I'm bringing. Let me see if I can bring Olu. Yeah, so Olu is back. So yeah,
All right. So before my brother comes to answer that question, I
yeah,
just want to know how it's done here because over there, because here it's people can accuse you of intimidation, like you are just trying to intimidate people and all that. So like people expect that you can say whatever you need and get away with it. You can give any review, you can copy things, anything, and you shouldn't be held liable for that. There shouldn't be consequence for what you say. Kind of.
yeah,
That's what I'm trying to ask. Like, is
yeah.
it the same
I don't, I
way?
don't, I don't think I don't think it's like that in the UK. I mean, one of the very very good example is when you go to the Android Play Store, or when you go to the Apple Store. If you look under each app, you will see reviews. Now, what you sort of understand or notice is that for every review, the owner of the app is responding if it's something if it's something bad. Now, if you go and believe you're faithless and you want to go and do sort of like rubbishing somebody's work, and they can take it up against you. They can fish you, they can trace you, and they take up. That's my belief personally. So no matter how angry you are, you must have a concrete evidence before you sort of lay such an accusation.
So
So there is
so let
duty on. Yeah, go on, Tolu.
And,
so
and there won't be opera that you are
yeah,
trying to
I
intimidate
want
the
to tell
person.
you a practical example of what I went through about reviews. I used to work as a customer operations officer with a top food chain in the UK back in more than 10 years ago called Just Eat. Just Eat.
Yeah, they're still around. Yeah.
Yeah, they're still around. So Just Eat, I work there. I deal with the reviews. So whatever, if you make an order, right? So when you make the order and you don't like the food, or the food is cold, or the food is, really bad, you have the chance to make a review. As long as you make your order, you can make a review. So the way we identify fake reviews or bogus reviews is that we check the payment history. Did you make an order? Yes. Did you pay? Yes. Did the order get received? Yes. Did you accept the order? Yes. Did you eat the order? Yes. Okay. If it doesn't taste very nice, then fine. We can give you compensation up to £10. Say sorry for that. Or free order on your next free free delivery or free order on your next meal. Okay. So with that, you will feel cool. And when you give the review,
Amazon
you will
has dashed me product before because of review.
exactly,
I'm just
They
exactly.
serious.
left it.
Yeah.
They said I don't need to pay.
Mm.
Don't pay anything. Don't worry. So even if you are giving a bad review, you are also obliged to give the good part. That these people truly they came back, they apologized, they even gave me 2 products for free. If you don't say that, that is not a true review. So the company has the right to take away that review and say this review is not reflection of the true nature of the transaction between the customer and the business.
Yeah,
So
So
and to
so
yeah.
so my question is, My question in that situation,
Yeah.
like
You disregard it.
I'm okay in that situation, like okay, like this Erisco case now has gotten to court.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Because the man is fighting to tooth and nail to get his integrity back. What I want to know in UK situation is that would there be an opera like against the man that is not supposed to do that? He's not supposed to take the person to court.
No.
He's supposed to let it
But,
slide. Will I
Tolu, let me
do
say a
the
few things.
audience over there? Do they have an understanding that you are trying to destroy this
You won't even
product?
be able to do it. You won't even be able to come out and talk like that. In the UK, there is regulation that is very strong. If I buy coffee, Starbucks coffee, and I find something poisonous inside, okay, there is a procedure. First of all, we have what is called ICP, Internal Complaint Procedure.
Exactly. That's what I wanted to say. Tolu, give me 1 second and then you can finish it up because I believe you are well knowledge in this field. So, Olu, for every complaint you make, before you go to who they call the abjugator, they will expect you to have gone through what they call the internal escalation process. So you own a company, I patronize you, I have an issue with your goods or service. I first of all have to report to you, and then you have to deal with it with me. If I'm not satisfied, I will tell you, raise it with your manager or your guy. Now, when you have gotten all the way to the top, you can now come back to me and say, I have now exhausted our internal escalation chain. This is our resolution. If you are still not happy with it, now go to the ombudsman or go to the ICP or go to the consumer right. Then when you go there, the first question the consumer right asks you is, have you exhausted the internal escalation process? You say yes. You show them the emails and everything. Then they first of all come in as a mediator. They ask you, can we resolve this? Where's your fat? Where's your fat? What are you asking for? If the objector say, okay, in this case, we stand with you, or we stand with this company that they are not faulted. If you are still not happy, you take it to small courts. If it's more than a certain amount of money, you go to the high courts or whatever. So I think that's how it works in the UK. Now, you cannot just come and say any unfounded statement. That company will just throw it away. They will ignore you. If you send us an email, because I used to work in GP, right? And as an IT guy, we deal with what they call friends and family, whereby you have to come and give complaints. And trust me, whenever you're on anything public, people will have bad things to say. And everything is being looked at. But when we see that whatever you are saying is out of hate or nonsense, or because you didn't get an appointment, we bin it. But there are things that, because we didn't resolve, they will go and report it to this thing. The people that deals with us, the CQC, Care Quality Commission, and those people have serious power. They will come down your neck. So at the end of the day, as you are throwing things away, you make sure it's people that will not go and take it further. Now, if somebody come and say your product kills, what do? You disregard it. If that same thing happened in the UK, what will happen is, even before you come to them, those people that are supposed to manage, if it's a, say for example, it's a food chain, those
Yes.
organizations that are responsible for managing or regulating that industry will first of all visit you, confirm to themselves, because they are the people that government will hold accountable, that that product is still standard and is not killing. Are you
Yep.
getting me?
Yeah,
There was a time they said Indomie kills now. Remember? They said
yeah.
it. I started panicking. I told my wife, because I eat Indomie a lot. I eat Indomie as breakfast. I started telling my wife, what's with this one now? So she said to me, if they said it's Indomie in Nigeria, not Indomie in UK. I said, but all of them are coming from Africa now. Let's somebody not go and eat this thing and that. Now, when that news made the headlines, what I expect the UK Consumer Authority to do is to go and start checking Indomie imported. And
Yep.
these guys have the tentacles. That's why you have ambassadors. They get information firsthand. So they probably can check the chain, make sure the Indomie that is coming into the UK are still edible and good for health, right? And before then, they can still allow you to continue importation. Even without you knowing that they do these things, they do what they call unannounced visits. They can just turn up. So even before the person that said this, it started going to court or whatever, there is a commission that's supposed to approach the businessman and say, okay, let's make sure everything is fine and good, and this thing is not true. Then that will be the legal right that you have to go against that person to say, okay, look at my last assessment. I passed after this one, I passed that one, I have a certification. So why are you saying this? Now it becomes a clear case of defamation. That's my understanding.
NAFDAC actually visits and they confirm that the product is okay. But my concern is not about those process. My concern is how is it that, we still want the person to get away with it? Like,
Mm.
okay, you say something about somebody without a proof. Is it that we don't have a culture of apologizing? Okay, I'm wrong here. Because you just say something out of the blues. Do you understand?
Mm.
NAFDAC actually visit. I know our law is a little bit weak, it's weak. We don't have a very strong process. But then I just feel like even the audience, the people, the way we react to some issues at times, I get worried. That's the angle I'm looking at it because now the person feel like he has done what he has done. There's nothing wrong with it.
You see, I think Nigerians don't understand the process of complaint. In my PhD, I think I raised those issues that we don't understand the process of complaint. Nigerians, consumers in Nigeria, find it difficult to report a product. So what they do is they come online, they just make noise, they just say this product is rubbish, don't eat it again, don't do this again, don't do that again. But there's a process. When I ask you what's the process now, you probably don't know the process. And it's not your fault. It's just the normal environment that we are living. You don't really care to want to know what do I do. Worst case scenario, if you have so much money, you might kind of tell your lawyer, say, listen, I know what I will do. I'll deal with you. I'll call my lawyer. You call your lawyer. Blah, blah, blah. You explain. The lawyer say, don't worry, bring money. You give your lawyer money. The process that you are supposed to follow by yourself as a normal citizen, the lawyer will now be following it for you. The first process is if you get something, you buy a product that is not good, we call it fit for purpose. If it is not fit for purpose, the first place you need to go is the CCPC, the Competition and Consumer Protection Commission.
Oh,
Go there.
Tolu, we are talking about Nigeria.
In Nigeria,
Every time
in
we say
Nigeria,
the
listen,
speaker
I'll
is
tell
very right.
wait,
We even do it with time. We keep time with Oyibo and go 3 hours late to Africans in the name of African time without
listen,
apology.
I'll tell you something. If you go to the CCPC and you complain,
Tolu,
because
have you
so
made
if
any
I
complaint in Nigeria?
yes,
Any? And
yes,
how much did it
yes,
handle? So let me say something,
I
yeah.
was just about
I
to
lost money. Hold on, I lost money, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Somebody duped me
yeah,
on WhatsApp. This thing. Somebody took the picture of my pastor and asked me for money, and I sent her about 300K. I copied
Jesus,
police. I copied EFCC. I copied what do you call it? Till today, they never see my email.
They will not do
yeah,
anything.
they
Let me
won't
even
do.
remind you of one. There's this
Send the
popular.
guy phone number. I sent the guy account number. I sent proof of payment till today. No, my uncle was done the same thing. 1.2 million.
What did
Somebody
what
took his
happened?
picture, duped a woman, and then the woman said, this my uncle is not ever asked him for money now. By his social standing, he has money. What is it? Boom, sent 1.2 mil. And he took from other people. That's the biggest amount. He took from other people from the WhatsApp. These things. There was a time that WhatsApp hacking was very rampant. Now, my uncle said, leave police. You understand? So Nigeria is a different ball game. So
See,
see, you miss your flight,
that even reminds me.
you miss your flight and you go to airpiece, you go to the desk.
Uh,
Sorry, I'm making
Gone.
airpiece, forgive me. You go to anything, they will just tell you it's weather condition. You're talking
that
to
even
yourself.
reminds me of a company that I bought a land in Lagos. Revolution Plus. I'll mention their name. Okay. Now, when they were selling that land to us, do you get? They said, well, this land does not have a decision in process. They have applied for it and all that, but they're going to get it. You know, because those are the questions people were asking. Are you following me? That are you going to get this thing? Oh, the marketing is always sweet. Do you get? You will get it. You will do this. You will do that. Don't worry. So, but when people now paid, it becomes a different ball game entirely. You understand?
Yeah.
You won't get your survey. You even the provisional survey they will give you, they won't give you on time. They'll be looking for one story or the other, like that. At the end of the day, they knew that they are scamming you. It's a scam because to me it's a scam because if you sell something to somebody because you feel like okay you are going to get this thing and you know you are not probably going to get it, but you want to collect the person's money. Now the question is they feel that they are protected by law. If you buy something from us and it's a decision in process, we are working on it, government may approve, government may not approve. You understand? So they knew that, okay, you are taking a very big risk. But while marketing the product to you, they assure you that they will get it.
Mm.
Because that's part of the question you ask that give you assurance to even drop your money, right?
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
they will not leave you hanging. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And that Revolution Plus case happens to a lot of people. In fact, some allocation were not even given. Do you get? So
Mm-hmm.
those are the issues. But the consumer, the customer, is not protected. Nobody is going to fight for you. That is how
Nigeria
bad it is.
is the case of which big man do you know? And you
Yeah.
see all these stories that you just narrated now will be
I
resolved
was
quickly.
just about to say that. I was just about to say that the power of networking. Look, I have a land reservation board. I have. I'm
Do
coming.
you
I'm
need
coming.
to have
Sorry, sorry,
networking
bro.
to do that in the UK? No.
No, wait. I have a piece of land. I have a couple of lands with Revolution Plus as well.
Do you?
Yes, and like I support what Olu was talking about. I really support it because um, there is a particular land that we bought for about 7 million, but they were not releasing. They were not releasing the allocation. They were not. We paid the money, but they were not. They were not giving us allocation. 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, almost 8 months. And I told them, I said, listen, I went to their office in Ibadan. I said, listen, I know your office in Atlanta. I will not fight you in Nigeria, so don't bother. I won't fight you in Nigeria. Testimony, I won't
You will
fight
take
you.
it to a system
I
that
will
works.
go and I will go and fight you from Atlanta.
In fact, that's what I wanted. That's what I'm doing to them. Oh. I'm not talking to them. Oh. I just gather my files. I know where their
All
office
you
is
see
in
the
Atlanta.
power of networking.
I'm not
All you see the power of
fighting them.
networking.
Oh.
Contact Tolu.
After
Tolu
making
has the
complaint,
contact of people who resolve it for him,
Look,
and
after
then he
making
will help you
complaint,
out.
and they are not listening. I didn't say anything. No. I'm just gathering my. I will spend 6 months in US. Yeah, I'm
No, no,
preparing myself.
no,
I'm
no,
taking my
Olu.
time.
Olu, listen to this. This is the power of networking. Tolu is a lawyer, not just an ordinary lawyer, a professor. So all you need to do is contact Tolu here. He knows the ins and outs. He's already been in contact with their office in Atlanta, so he's got their
yeah, I have
emails
the office.
to push
See,
that
I
forward.
have the
Save
address.
that money for
I
traveling
have.
to the US and staying
Don't
6 months,
bother.
and
Don't
just give
bother.
me my own share.
Yeah,
Don't bother.
I understand what
They,
you are saying.
they
Yeah.
are. They are. See, let me tell you one trick. Let me finish this story. The person that I bought the land with, possibly, I don't know if he or she is on this platform. I don't know because some of my friends are connecting, so
Yes.
he or she might actually see what I'm talking about and be laughing. I called them. I went to their office. I said I'm flying next week. I'm going to Atlanta. Do you know what happened to me? They were
What?
owing they were owing me 7 million. They paid that money within 24 hours.
So that
I swear.
means they didn't give you
24,
the land then.
24
So
hours.
that means they didn't give you the land. So that means it's sham.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
In in
If
my
I
own
didn't know
case,
So
anybody,
how
if I
can,
in
didn't know
my own
how
case,
anybody,
can a sham company have an office in Atlanta?
wait.
exactly.
It's not a sham, but listen, this is the story. This is the story. The land was oversubscribed. Okay,
Okay.
there were like 50 plots. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
on that property, and more than 200 people subscribed, and they were collecting different rates from those people. So
Okay.
first come first serve basis. They've already oversubscribed. They collected more than enough money. So now
Mm.
they couldn't give us the allocation because They've given some people, and some people are waiting.
Mm.
So they have to start lying that we are still, the case is in court. I said, listen, don't try nonsense with me. Don't try that with me.
And they have collected money from everybody.
And they've collected money from
What are they owing
everybody.
you?
Okay, in my own case, okay, there is one, that one is 2 plots. They did not even give me allocation at all. That should be around there. That was then. It's been long though. That was around maybe 5 or 6 M. Then there's another
Where was that?
one.
Where? Which location is that?
That's in Ibejuleki.
Ibejuleki, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So then there's another one. There's another one. They actually gave me allocation. Okay, with this their provisional survey and all those things. But the truth of the matter is, I can't even do anything with the land because even the decision in process that they promised that it will be approved, nothing has been approved for more than 4 or 5 years.
Mm-hmm. And counting.
Are you
and
with me?
Still counting.
And it's still counting. And they promise that you will get an approval. Mm-hmm. So you see, my own take is, if you know that you cannot even guarantee what you are promised, because promise alone, you should be liable for what you say. Because when people ask you questions, you should be able to refund those people.
That's right.
Do you understand? That's what I'm saying. But they
won't work with Tolu, and Tolu will help you to recover that. I don't think you need any shadow of doubt with that. I think Tolu can help you. And this is what I'm talking about with networking.
Revolution Plus, with due respect, I think they are not sham. I think it's a real company.
I take that back. They are not sham.
This is this is the problem they have. It's a good company. Sorry, not good company. It's a real company, but they have one problem. They have a problem of oversubscription and management. They collect more than they have to give.
So they are like an estate. They're like an estate management company.
Exactly. So they collect the money from everybody, and they now start allocating based on what they collect. And now, by the time they allocate the whole plot, the whole land, there's nothing else to allocate for those people. And they've used their money for business, to raise more money, to do more, buy more land and everything. So I think.
Sorry, let's all agree that it's not a scam company. Let us agree. I'm not even fighting them. I don't even see it in that regard. Me, I just feel like you can do whatever you want to do with me. When I'm ready, I know what to do. You understand? That was my thinking. So let us all even agree that it's not a scam. But you see, what I was trying to bring out, aside the allocation that they did not give me, there is 2 plots that are worth almost like 5 or 6 million that they did not give me. And when you look at the value, then when you exchange rate dollar and all those things, that money should be heading to like maybe 24 or 30 or 40 million now.
Yeah.
So for me,
20 million minimum.
For me, that's what I want to fight for. Not even them refunding my money. Do you understand? That is the angle I'm coming from, because you don't have any excuse why you should not give me my allocation. But the other aspect is where they actually make promises. Like, you want to sell a land to me. I'm asking you a question that this thing you said you have applied for a extension, are you going to get it before you collect money from? In an ideal situation, you are not even supposed to sell a land that you have not get an approved extension in process. In an ideal situation, you understand? But in our own client, anything goes, because you have a deed. Maybe you have bought the land from the owners and all those things, and you think from there you can sell and all that. In a land, probably government has interest, because government actually owns all the land. So you are not supposed to be committed or make promises that you will get it, that the land will be we have done it, and
ideally, what you want to say, Olu, is that you shouldn't sell a land that you have not been legally approved to sell.
Yeah.
So what they are doing is
they do that a lot. I have a chairman in Nigeria who told me that crippled him. He invested in, and if you know what is going on in Asaba, they do it a lot. They will just come, they will go to some rich guys and say, oh, they want to go into estate management. All they need is the initial money to sort of buy this community land, start fencing it, put a big gate, call these realtors, and they will just come and start advertising and selling a commission-based kind of advert, mouth to mouth kind of advert. So this guy went and invested in them. Eventually, didn't even get any allocation. It crippled his business. So, and we need to understand that because of these rubbish systems that we have in Nigeria, because I don't think there's any other thing I can call it. You see somebody will sell same land, they will sell it to two people. Now they will leave it for the two of you to start fighting. We've been in that the family, and these things made me not to get involved with property business or even buy. I just managed to develop my land
That,
for
that's why I don't
that's
even
it.
want to buy land in Nigeria again, because my
Honestly,
experience with them
if
is
you
not
know what is
okay.
happening in
My
Enugu now
experience
with
with
century,
middle chase, that's another one. It's not okay. So I just feel like it does not really worth it. You understand?
you know what is happening in Enugu now.
The only experience I have that is okay is Paradise Estate in Abuja. Even though those ones promise after promise and all those is an estate, they built it and all those things. Do you understand? That's the one that I can even say, but it's like those ones, their own problem is they promise they will deliver in 1 year. 1 year probably will turn to 3 years.
Mm.
You
Yes.
but at least
My
they
friend
still
just
deliver.
bought
Because
one in Abuja for
because
like 300M.
because when you buy it off plan. There's what they call off plan.
Mm-hmm.
So you will pay, then they will start building for you and all those things. So they can
Mm.
tell you maybe in 24 months it will be ready. So in their own case, 24 months is turning to 48 months. But at least they deliver. But you see these ones that I mentioned, these two, Middle Chase and Revolution, it's a different thing entirely. And you see, that is my problem. You see, it now brings me to a point where the customer in Nigeria also are not well protected.
Of- That's
Do
exactly
you
what I was
understand?
going to say.
You,
That's exactly what I'm going to say
they are not well
because
protected.
I
You don't know.
had a family. Sorry, only to take words out of your mouth. I had a family. I got involved in a family issue because of this thing. Somebody took a loan from a big uncle and got duped because of all this property thingy. And at the end of the day, couldn't pay back. And this other company uncle waged his business against that loan to help this guy, and eventually affected relationship, affected a lot of things, and I got involved in it. And that's how I got to know about it. I also have a friend that just spent about 300M on the land in one of these properties in Abuja. Me, I'm not getting involved. Because what happens is that governments have a way of meddling. If you guys know what is happening in Century in Enugu, all my uncles that own properties in Enugu, what they do is buy it. When each governor come, they will have to buy their property again. Because these governors, the first thing they want to do is to grab lands. Do you
Yep.
understand?
That's
And
right.
then they use it to make their rubbish IGR to generate revenue. So in a way, if a government is obsessed with getting into the lands in the state, and sometimes it turns into a power toggle of who is richer, and then they will snatch your land. My cousin just lost his land in the same Enugu. Somebody can just come and bulldoze your fence and bulldoze everything. So if okay, my neighbor where I have a small house in Delta State there, the guy is a military guy. In fact, he said any day you see the other guy that is building in his land, he will shoot him, he will kill him. Nothing will happen. What are you going to do to a military guy? You will bury him in that land. So, and the other guy is in America. He's just my neighbor, one fence. So at the end of the day, you find out that governments, it becomes on who knows the governor.
Exactly.
And funny enough, who knows the current governor? When the other governor comes, you lose the same plot. And funny enough, this is what happened to Geometric, the guy that just went live with his power generating company in Aba. The whole property, they call it above ring fenced this thing, was under somebody else's thing. And they have to wait for a government that will support them to actually come and resolve that issue before they can go forward.
Yeah.
So for me, all these systems that we don't have in place makes it extremely difficult. Extremely
Hmm.
difficult. I see so many people's houses being demolished. Some people are being warned. Some people will claim it's because of other ways. Some of these things is purely because there is no good system. What is the plan?
Exactly. I agree
I
with
was
you.
shocked.
Look at rail system.
Mm,
Rail system in Lagos, for example, it took almost like maybe 17 or 20 years because you need federal government approval on certain things. In other instances, you need to demolish some places that already have CFO, things like that. So it becomes a very big problem. I mean, you want to build rail. If the federal government does not support you, you're your own. No,
That's right.
you're your own. Do you get? So things like that is not supposed to be in a situation where you have a complete federal system. I thank God that power system has been put in a concurrent list. It's no longer an exclusive list.
Correct.
So you can imagine if power is in exclusive list, a president can frustrate you. Maybe you are not in his party, or maybe you are headed. I mean, you are strong-headed. You always clash with him, or he just doesn't like your face. Like what happened between OBJ and Tinubu in those days. For just not liking your face, nothing flies. Because all those things, there was a time, this South, these oil resources things. You remember, they started this something nautical mines and all those nonsense then.
Yeah.
You understand? So you can't hold. Do you get? So those are the issues. Okay, this one that is within this nautical mines, you cannot claim 13% derivation on it. They took themselves to court on that matter
Right.
during OBJ's era. So you see, those are some of the problems. If you say I hold the land and all those, look at Eco Atlantic City. It was the same problem. You understand? Because federal government and state government has to be dragging. Say I own it. All those kind of things. At the end of the day, they have to reach an agreement, a compromise agreement within them. So
It's,
and all those things,
sorry.
still bring growth and development.
Yeah,
Just
that's
that.
exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Sometimes this thing we call networking can also be abused.
Mm.
I don't know if you are following.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be abused. Now, somebody said that, and I don't know how true this is. This is things we see on the internet, that somebody called Emeka for, who is one of the strongest men in Anambra State, was part of what hampered Geometric not to come into power because of those issues they had with EDDC wanting to be part of that project and or whatever with transmission being part of that initial whatever. Because as far as Geometric is concerned, they are concerned with both generation, distribution, and retail
and
and
transmission.
transmission and retail of
Generation,
everything.
transmission, and
So
distribution.
in that whole sphere, there is nothing. EDC is not part of it. So, but somehow the contract. So at the end of the day, because the American at the time had a concrete networking or power with the federal government, it sort of hampered that project. Now, something that Malik Ado Ibrahim said, who is a YPP former presidential candidate, is that he has never seen the Minister of Power, who is supposed to give him license to do some things for Nigeria. And now he's greed there in Adamawa, or what is solar energy, what is organization there, is now selling to Cote d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast. So
No,
Nigeria needs a
the law has
solution.
actually changed. The law has actually
No,
changed. A
I know
state
he said
government,
it, but at
a
the
state
end of the
government
day,
can give license to generate,
yes,
transmit, and distribute now.
yes. Now, the law might have changed recently, but then I'm just trying to pick on something he said on national
Yeah.
TV. He was shown, So when you have, and he said it, sometimes minister of power are not even people who are in the field. Now, when you give such roles to people who don't even know a jack about power, and he said the last minister that was actually trained in that sector was Professor Barton Naji, which is why 20 years down the line, he's produced, which actually was ready since 2014. Imagine if that was operational since 2014 and the banks started making their profit, by now they would have built more. Now,
It would have
hold on.
got to so many states now. If he also
Exactly.
have been
Build so many
empowered, I mean, his
states,
business,
and he hasn't built it there.
his business
So
would
because
have
he's taking,
grown.
yeah, he's taking 10 years just to get that one operational. What have
Yeah.
been ready is 2014 because, of course, they're waiting for a government that will support them. Because then Shell left and they couldn't supply gas to the plant. Now, what Malik Ado Ibrahim is saying is that that's even an outdated technology. Or they could have actually have what they call mixed energy sources, which means you can have gas, you can have hydro, you can have windmill, you can have renewables, you can have solar. Do you understand? But then he couldn't see the minister of power, maybe because they're not in the same party.
Yeah.
So sometimes networking can work for or against. Do you understand? Look at what happened in Enugu. A young man came and established a what do you call it? A restaurant, a relaxation area, and unfortunately for him, the next door neighbor or the person he shared border offense with was the guy that was in charge of Enugu development area, and the guy went and bulldozed the whole thing down. He took the outcry, and this is why people come to social media in Nigeria, because that's the only place you get an effective power.
You can
Once you're
vent
able to
your
buy,
anger and just,
yeah, once you're able to buy into the power of Nigerians or buy into the pity of Nigerians online, they can generate a lot of buzz, and the governor will hear about it. So a few men that are strong in the society, Okulora and all the social media influencers, got involved, and they got to the governor. And the governor said they are going to pay the man back all his investment. Now, there are so many people I know that have had issues with lands they bought in Enugu. There was one comedian that came and said his land has been marked with remove. It took a making case to even go down there saying, don't remove this gentle. If you see house, it's already built. So you see that our governments are easily destroying homes that people have spent millions in this hardship to build. So
I'm telling you.
why allow them to build it in the first place? Here in the UK, they don't burn you well to say they go build a house as you like. Most of the houses we are living here are estates built and developed by, of course, even if they're going to be private, very massive consortiums that work with the plan of the place. Do you understand? Approved for everything, for the sewage, for the water, for the electric and everything, for the power, everything. Do you understand? So you don't have any reason to say tomorrow they are knocking down my house or they're demolishing your house unless your house does not meet a certain standard, which the builder have to get insurance for. Are you getting what I'm trying to say?
Yep.
So because we do not have all these systems, it makes networking to be used for because what I was talking or what I was getting to when I was talking about networking is sometimes you might have contact of some people which you necessarily don't have to put into use, or you're not getting it because you want an immediate use.
Yeah.
Sometimes I might have Olu's contact, not because I want to ask Olu of anything now. Olu might just be there in my contact. And maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the line, I say, oh, Olu, I actually need this. And he said, oh, I can get this, I can get this. And then you solve it. Then I've made benefit of that relationship. Are you getting what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Sometimes it could be, how can I be of a service to Tolu, for example? Maybe I can say to Tolu, oh, do you need this? I can help you get this. Then you serve that person and then you guys become friends. That's how some people make friendship. Do you understand? I love the story of this guy that said he was the photographer of Buhari, right? As rubbish as a president as Buhari was, this guy was a photographer. And then he went to the Larry Grant after APC finished. He was sleeping on this thing because they took him off his job. He was jobless. And then the organizers of the event saw him. I said, what are you doing? He said, he's a good photographer. And I said, okay, the president is coming. Oh, yeah. And after that day, he still stayed back. And Buhari saw him and said, okay, come. I will make him a personal photographer. And that's how his story changed. So you could be there trying to render service.
The guy for don't enter so many countries on diplomatic passport safe.
The guy follows the president everywhere he goes.
That's what I'm saying now.
Have you seen Tonyelumelu photographer? Everywhere he's going, he used to be. It's like when you see people like E-Money or B-Lord, their photographer will be in the front and they are walking into their car and walk out of their car and walk into the office. It's the photographer that is following. In fact, you're the one that have the phone. You become a PA. You follow that's the guy that said they are literally everywhere. You will meet dignitaries. You will smell the perfume of president, even if it's an American ambassador or American envoy coming to Nigeria. You will know them. You will know their shoe, their watch. You understand? That is the power of networking. But sometimes you get that networking by service. What can I give this big man? Not every time. Big man dash me money. See, when I jam P2B, or when I went, I intentionally, I knew he was coming to University of Oxford, right? Within few hours of coming into a particular group then, when the presidential election was about to come, campaign was going on, I had to drive. I was working from home. I put my laptop on very long query. He was doing some long query. And then I drove. I went to Oxford. It was my first time going to University of Oxford. Maybe not my first time. And then I parked and I went into the hall. I sat down. People were asking questions. I didn't want to ask questions. I just want to hear from the man. Do you understand? Immediately he went out to go and take pictures. As I was going to him, I'm not going there to just take pictures and go. I'm going there to say things to him. And as I was saying it to him, he held my hands and he responded to me. He told me which group to go and join. I went to that group. And funny enough, if Peter B came into power and that idea came to light, I'm happy. If you don't say, oh, there was this boy that said something in the University of Oxford, blah, 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 maybe from my picture you can pick who I am. And somebody told me a story after I took that picture. He said to me, do you know with this picture you can walk into Asorok? I said, that's not my intention. He said that was it Abacha, that when Abacha met Adenuga, Adenuga was a taxi driver abroad that carried him, right? And that's how he got his number. He saw that he was a loyal guy and all of that. And that's how Adenuga became. I don't know. He said he told Adenuga to, or something like he took pictures with him or whatever, and then came back to Nigeria when he won, and then showed the picture to the security detail and said, Oga said I should come. And that's how they allowed him in. I said, no, not in this age, because a lot of people were taking pictures with Peter Obi.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I'm just trying to say sometimes when you give service to people, or you might even contribute an idea to somebody can say, okay, look at what just happened the other time. Victor Siemens said he want to see a young boy. What did the young boy do? He just wear glove. What do you call it? Mask. And just wrote to Siemens or carry Jason. I was just walking. You understand? So at the end of the day, somebody that knows somebody through Mazitunde not, and they got to the board. So at the end of the day, what can you do to somebody that might be beneficial to that person? You know, I was listening to one of
his brand.
Yeah, I was listening to somebody, an influencer. He said, people always ask me for money. I was cooking rice the other day and they got burnt. Have you asked me what you can do for me? Is it because I'm a rich man you think you want to take from me? What are you doing to me? Maybe I need a cleaner. Maybe I need a driver. Have you said, Oga, let me come and wash your car for one day? Are you getting what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
I was listening to another celebrity. He said he used to wash his Oga car for long. Oga did not know. Until one day, the guy was fasting and said, oh, are you the one that always watch my car? He said, yes. And that was it. So at the end of the day, if you're looking for networking, maybe you don't want to go to the same betting club or you don't want to go to the pub because you don't drink. But how can you be of service to that person? If I know that a billionaire that I want to meet is somewhere, how do I be of service to them? How can I go and be with them? And at the end of the day, and that's if you're intentional about getting something. But there are also people who you can just help and leave it as that. Maybe down the line, I met one man one day that told me that he never deletes anybody's number. I said, me, I delete too. If I don't see any list, I delete. He said he never, that any number he has on his phone will be there. I don't know. People have different ideas. But maybe there will be one day he will need that number. He can use it and call you and say, oh boy, what's up? Me, I don't believe people asking for help out of the blues. I believe in have a relationship.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Any other thoughts before we round up?
I think to be honest, the power of networking is very, very crucial. Like you said, like tonight I've met Olu, I've met you. I know you for the past 14 years, I'll say. And although we don't talk every time because everybody's busy, but every single time we have that conversation, we spark. There's a lot of ideas coming to life. You see,
Yeah.
so we should not jettison as a business person like Olu is now. He knows that networking is very important for him.
Yeah.
For me as well, as an academic, because I'm not practicing right now, I'm an academic. Networking is key, and the way I network is more or less like service, like begging, and not that I love to beg, but I have to beg. I have to beg. If I don't beg, I don't grow. It's very simple. You see, sometimes, like you said, you have to swallow our pride. You have to stoop to conquer, swallow your pride to excel. Okay, so networking is very important, but sometimes we have to agree that you will do things that you don't want to do just because you want to grow.
Yeah.
So let's just bear that in mind going forward.
Thank you so much, Tolu, for that wonderful closure.
Don't worry. You know, the last time when I come to UK, it was a short visit. I'm supposed to visit you.
No,
Now you supposed to
next time
visit.
come, I'm
Now you
good.
supposed to visit me, self. Now I'll be stranger
Tell you
now.
day.
But you see, when next I'm coming, I will stay longer. I think I spent 8 days.
Mm.
Maybe
Oh, 8
when I
days is
come,
short now.
8 days is short. Maybe when next I come, I'll spend like a month.
Mm.
I'll spend like a month. You understand? Then I'll
No,
have
no
plenty time
worries.
to do one or two
That would
things.
be interesting to see you when you come
Eh,
around.
I would love to see you too, bro.
Inbox Solu so that you guys can
And
solve that issue. I would
no,
like to see that issue.
I'll do that. I'll do that.
Yeah,
I'm even
Yeah,
following him now as we are talking.
yeah, good, good,
okay.
good,
The
good.
guy, those people, those Revolution Plus people, I think they have an address in Tony Street in Lagos. Tony Street.
I've been to their office. They are always. It's very frustrating. So I stopped going.
I
The
don't.
money is. What is involved is very huge. Oh. This one, I just see me quiet. I'm just like nothing
I
happened.
don't
Yeah,
know how you're quiet, so that would be eating me up.
uh,
Now, even in your situation, if you go and say they are sham, I don't think anybody can fault you because you have good reason to say
Uh,
that.
it's very huge, but you see, my problem is I already, I'm trying to restructure my work in a way that, if not because of the way we meet now, in a way that I will have their time. I'm just gathering my evidence, and I know I may not really be able to get justice here. Then
Work,
I will just go there.
work with Tolu is somebody that's gotten his own refund, so he'll be able to
I got
help
my
you.
own. I got my refund. I told them. I said I will go and spoil your case. They have the office in
Mm.
Atlanta. I said I will go and spoil your. I will spoil your
They
case.
even have a
If
house. I think they have a house in Atlanta too.
yeah, they're selling bungalow, all these new houses that they're selling. They're using all our money. They will sell it to the US. Go and be building houses.
Exactly.
all it is see, so people don't understand this, but let me say it for the interest of those listening. There is no way anybody below a particular age, yeah, we make some crazy amount of money, except you run some kind of schemes. If you really read some books on how these guys make it, you have to run some MMMs or do some kind of thing
Yeah.
to sort of gather some big capital to break
Yeah.
even.
Yeah,
Now, when you break even, say for example, let me give an example with the government.
Then
The
you can now
government does
stabilize. Yeah.
what the government do is that they take a lot of taxes from you, and then they pay you what they call tax return at the end of the year.
yeah.
In between the time that they've taken that tax and when they give you the tax return, they've used that tax to go and do all those businesses in the stock market, in Wall Street, in Canary Wharf, and
Uh-huh.
make money profit. They return your capital back to you at the end of the day, and they've
Yeah.
taken their money as revenue. Does that make
Mm.
sense?
It
Yeah.
makes sense.
So any big corporation is like you see the likes of Tony Elumelu today. They started with Transcorp. I have shares in Transcorp. I don't even know where my broker is. I don't even know if I have dividend. I bought this like when I was very young. I asked my family to buy me shares. I don't even know none of my paperwork. I don't know nothing anymore. But when they have sold those things, Transcorp just went into power sector, because that's the order of the day now. That's the
Yeah.
big,
Mm.
that's the
That's the big
hottest topic
news.
now.
Yeah.
That's the
In
hot
fact,
topic now.
in fact,
So they
I
went into
don't
power
know
and they
when
broke even with 1.6 trillion.
uh,
It's not their money, oh. It's investments coming from people. So at the end of the day, now he's become established, he's become a big company and all of that. But when they were rising, when they are built, it's like when Dangote sold a lot of shares, Dangote sugar, people were pulling their money. So you sort of need that. So these people now, this Evolution Plus, will probably need this. Now go to a very stable market like America, buy properties, buy properties, buy properties, sell it, sell it. As you guys are coming, delay taxes, delay taxes, delay taxes, they'll be
And
settling
they
the
will give
ones
you
and
back
giving them
later.
back.
They give you your
They,
own money after
they,
five
will, they will
years.
be giving people like Tolu who is giving them a headache. And people like, oh, we've been in Nigeria, they'll say, oh, hold on. As they're making more profit, you don't know the bill. That's what's up.
yeah.
They're just the most intelligent forest market, these guys in front of the cup. These people will fund them.
Mm.
If you know what I know, there is this guy, Oyibo. He told me, he said, Baba, these guys, we help you. You join this group. All you need to do is pay this kind of money and get. I invested. I invested into the guy. The guy will come in his Telegram channel. He will tell tell everybody, I am buying this versus this. Now, what I notice is that if you have a following of about, let's say, 1,000 people, and you tell them to buy dollar versus pounds, for example, yeah, all of them buy, you know that people will be buying. So that means the graph will go up. Now you go and sell, and before you know it, it will drop. You make money from them. Now, at some point, you take some losses yourself. They will take and they'll say, I've made money, but I've made money. Later, at the end of the day, they will lose. Say, you didn't sign up on time. They are making it. There is no other secret with all this trading. If you don't know, you don't know. The small fish are just there to fry. But if you don't know these things, you don't know. And that's why they will have the big channel, they will have the inner circle channel, and they will have the VVIP. Now, when you get to a particular level, if you are coming in with some kind of heavy capital, and that's why they will always need your money for registration. I'm not busting anybody's business, but because you're listening to me, knowledge is power. I'm going to tell you this. Because you are coming in, this thing with big capital, they will let you go to the other, and that's how they will show you flashy cars, show you nice apartments, and then you'll be swayed. There's no quick way to make money. There's no quick way to make money.
There's no
You see,
my brother.
it's always grab.
You have to be patient, honestly.
When they grab, they break even, and then when they make profits, they will pay you back what you owe. Now, there are two types of people that is in this world: people that go and pay money into the bank, and people that borrow from the bank. So I know you understand where I'm coming from, because me and you share the same financial intelligence. Now, if you are the kind of person that saves money in the bank is going to use your money to give to the people that borrow money from the bank to make profits, give them their own share, take their own share, and then they give you back.
It's better
more interest.
you put your money
my
in
money in the bank.
insurance. It's actually better to put your money investment in insurance than bank.
Do you know
Insurance is even worse, and I will tell you why. If I have big money, I'll run an insurance company. Here in this country, you don't have a choice. You have to be insured. But you see, like my appliances, my wife is telling me, oh, let's put our appliances in insurance. I'm like, how many times did it break down? If you break down, I'll fix it. That's my idea. Do you understand? But because you have to get insurance in certain things, you have to do it legally. Apart from that, if I own an insurance company, or if God blesses me to own an insurance company, and you're able to enroll 100,000 customers, 1 or 2 or even 5 make claims, you are in money. Think about how much is coming in every month. Are you getting what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Especially if you're doing appliances kind of insurance. Now, if you go on to do things like building, how many buildings get burnt? How many buildings get robbed? And then they will still have some caveats, some laws, get some very smart law guys like fresh graduate, then they had their boy. Use them as, once you want to make claim, they will find reason to say it is not your fault. It's not included in the listing.
Yeah.
And that's how they milk you. That's why, listen, if you work in insurance,
that's why I say return on insurance is very high. If you actually place your money or you invest there, the return is higher than the bank. That's what I mean.
Yeah, but that's if you have a good reason to make a claim.
No. I'm not even talking of claim. I'm talking of investment in insurance. Because you can actually put your money.
Like investing in a company, in an insurance company.
Yes.
Okay,
Putting it in a bank. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, definitely. Insurance companies are cashing out. Financial companies are cashing out. These are the top of the food chain. The top of the food chain is the financial sector, the insurance sector, and then government. These are the top people of that.
The property sector.
Yes, property sector as well, because everybody needs housing. Everybody needs housing.
I need to buy a house in that your place.
Come on, buy.
I think that the Fritz was analyzing it the other day. If you buy a house in UK, you are good. If you buy in America, semi-good. That's what you're saying. Nigeria, rubbish.
No,
there's one I even saw. Find property in UK, The one Indian guy that was running that on the internet, find property in UK or something. They're even advertising for although I'm not ready for it because I don't believe in all those things until probably maybe I visit or I do a serious consultation. So they are saying, some studio apartment, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom in some places, it can go for 70 to 80 pounds, 80,000 pounds. For somebody that does not live ahead, for someone that is not living in UK.
The best thing to do is when you make your money from this whole Atlanta thing, this Evolution Plus, go to estate agents in London or
If
even
you
East
want
London.
to, if you want to invest, see, if you want to invest in the UK,
Is it right for me to say like he can go into flats in
yeah,
all these store rising in probably parking area, all those stuff, and then make money from renting?
exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
Places that are also places that are very very lucrative. The return ROI is lovely. The equity is fantastic. You don't want to put your money somewhere that after 2 years your interest rate will catch up with your equity. You will start crying. Even in the UK, many Nigerians buy property in the UK. They will be suffering and smiling.
Mm.
When they come to the UK, they are happy. They jump out of frenzy. They save money. The first one they want to buy, they want to buy property. They want to go and buy in a Lichfield, Trent Valley, or Ipswich,
Burnley,
Suffolk,
Burnley, all those
Burnley.
places.
But that's the cheapest
Wait,
places now. You can't mock them.
wait. Now, my brother, this is a very simple analysis. I'm not going to make it complicated. Okay, when you buy those properties, you get your interest rate as a first-time buyer from abroad. You get interest rate not less than 5%. No matter how good, no matter how nice your credit rating is, 5% minimum. Now, let me ask you a question. At £80,000 per year, minimum for the property, and then you drop 10%, which is 8K. Okay, you are happy, you are dancing. 2 years down the line, that that, that property is worth 60K. And
Any property goes down in value.
it can, why not? Yes, of course, it goes down in value.
UK,
Yes,
I don't
yes.
believe you
I'll
though.
tell you an example. I'll give you an example. If you want to know, go and buy a property in, say, go and uh buy in Liverpool, for example. Buy in Liverpool, those areas in Liverpool, those bushes in Liverpool. Go and buy a property there. 80K, 90K. Let's come back 2 years later. Let's check the value. Don't forget you are paying interest. Don't forget your interest is there. You are paying 5% interest APR.
No, but Olu, put it. Let's use Nigerian context so people can relate to what we are saying.
Okay.
Anybody that wants to make investments for a financial reason,
Yeah.
for a commercial reason,
Yeah.
there's no point leaving cities to go to somebody's village and see a very big, gigantic house and go and buy
That
it.
is what many
Because at the end
Nigerians
of the
do.
day, who is going to buy it? Because you have to look about. You're not living there. If you are living there, then it's different. You are buying that property because you want to sell. Now,
No,
I am of
probably
the
for rent, so
opinion.
that property for rent, and whenever you come, you can stay.
But
But
nobody will go and live in somebody's village. That's what Olu is driving
My
at.
point is that Nigerians will come to the UK. Because they want to buy a house. They want to go and buy in a place that has no equity. The equity is is negative.
okay, what if because what I was looking at is that okay, you have 80,000 pounds, for example, and you buy, sure you get pay once cash, or you have that 80,000 pounds, but you see one in a very nice place, which is probably maybe 450, 370, all those kind of things, then that becomes your down payment because that's even high safe. Do
Yes.
you
No,
understand?
the best thing to do is say, for example, I've already planned. This is my own plan because I like to give people my own plan. There's no secret to this, right? I've managed to. I live in my own house now, even though it's shared ownership, right? And my house is crazy expensive. Now, my house could have bought me a house that is not shared ownership, complete in places like Manchester, which is up north,
Yeah,
or Middlesbrough,
yeah,
or Newcastle.
yeah.
Now, Manchester is a massive city like London, and our people are going there. Our people are there, right? Now, my friend bought a house, almost the same thing that I bought mine. But am I in shared ownership because my house is a crazy expensive area? Now, if I had money, I've got 20 seconds, so I'm going to wrap up with this. So if I have money, what I would do is to go up north in those kind of Manchester area and buy a house, but it's still going to be mortgage. If you have like 80K and you are in Nigeria, the best thing to do is put it in a flat and be making money through rent that will pay off the mortgage and still give you extra. And when you bring it, that's what one of these guys was saying as well. Guys, we've got 5 seconds. I want to thank you. 3 seconds, 2 seconds.